Hey guys, so today we have a few stories to talk about. These intros are very repetitive, so I try to switch it up as I turn on the camera, and then my brain goes into a panic, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm saying. So Instagram, Twitter, follow me on there. Fun time. Second channel, that is a fun time. In description, subscribe. I love it, and I post a lot of content on there in between these contents. So when there's nothing happening here, there will always be something happening over there. So if you're missing any content, then go. What was that? Let's start with some beauty drama-ish. So what happened was Selena Gomez released her line called Rare Beauty, which is being sold in Sephora and on rarebeauty.com. Rare, like the Rare Beauty website. Now, I guess people are saying that this is like the closest competition to Fenty, because Fenty, out of all celebrity lines, is actually genuinely liked. I feel like celebrity lines get a really bad rep for being cash grabs and not like a passion project and not something that the people are actually into or partake in anyway. Whereas when Fenty came along, it came in with, you know, the shade ranges, it came in with the good quality products. Like Fenty makes some good quality stuff. And it was actually one of those lines that was genuinely liked. Like I feel like, you know, people expected Lady Gaga's line to be liked and then ended up not being very popular, mainly because of kind of like the lack of creativity and edginess. When, you know, when you see Lady Gaga, you expect a certain kind of makeup, and that just didn't come along. And also because she decided to sell exclusively through Amazon, and people aren't a big fan of Amazon right now. So, you know, Fenty was really, it had like the monopoly, I guess you could say, celebrity lines. Fenty knew that if another celebrity line was coming along, they would never be what Fenty is, if that makes sense. Like Fenty had the monopoly here, and for good reason as well. So I'm not saying Fenty's bad in any way. I love my Fenty product. I have quite a bit of them. I did a full face of Fenty. Some things didn't work, some things definitely did. Selena Gomez comes along with Rare Beauty, and when she first announced it, people were kind of like, oh, like she barely wears any makeup. Like, what's the point of this? And then Rare Beauty came in clutch, and it's natural makeup. It's kind of got a K-beauty / Glossier kind of a vibe. All the packaging is easy to open for people with like mobility issues. Selena Gomez has a history of medical conditions that don't make it easy for her to open products. I guess subconsciously, even if it wasn't like a conscious decision that she made, she, you know, made products that are very easy to open with the little like sphere thing on top. I know there is a bunch of money being donated to mental health charities. There is just like a bunch of things happening there that really is like a good thing, and I'm like glad that this makeup line exists. And I don't say that a lot. I'm just like, even if I never end up using a single product from Rare, I'm not angry about its existence. Like, it doesn't irk me, you know, that it's a thing. So then we all think, oh, it's good and well, you know, there's finally a second celebrity makeup line that we can all get behind. And someone in my DMs sent me 2 screenshots, and I love when you guys do that. I love when you guys are like, do you want to talk about this? So it says, there's a comment under someone's video. I actually just genuinely don't know whose video this was under, but it says, Selena Gomez, I'm not trying to compete with, oh, wait. This is probably under the Nikki Tutorials video with Selena Gomez, because I remember Selena Gomez saying that she's not trying to compete with anyone. So this must have been under the Nikki Tutorials video. So Selena Gomez says, I'm not trying to compete with anyone. And Fenty Beauty posting a pic on IG right after Rare Beauty dropped and captioning it, when you're trying to shine on them, but you're just looking shiny. LMFAO. Why did I just say it like that? That was gross. Let's never do that again. And then that same person, it's in a different language as well. Autres personnes, is that French? I did French GCSE. Can you tell how embarrassing this is? That I can't pronounce anything. Voiles. What's 67? I don't think I ever counted that high in French. Commentaire. That's Italian. That was bad. Commentaires. Autres personnes. No. All the French people have just left this video. They were like, nope, sorry, I'm gonna click out of that one very quickly because that was embarrassing. This is a French person, I believe. Imagine if this is just not French at all. Like, imagine I just did all of that for this to not even be French. That would be just the cherry on top of like my lack of French knowledge. Fenty Beauty posted, when you're trying to shine on them, but you're just looking shiny, which Rare Beauty is that Glossier makeup. It is that very glowy, natural looking makeup. So I guess this is like shade against Rare Beauty, because it was literally right after they dropped their line. And then it goes, Pro Filter Matte Foundation to keep the extra shine at bay in an oil-free soft matte formula that leaves your skin looking like skin. This kind of shady. I'm not into matte makeup at all, so I never ended up picking up the Pro Filter Soft Matte Foundation because I knew that I would hate it. But I did pick up the luminous version they had. Not the best foundation I've ever tried. It's okay. I just feel like it's dewy, but it's still kind of clinged on to dry patches, which is, I hate when that happens. There's like a weird disconnect where it's like, oh, dewy, luminous, but we're gonna attach ourselves to dry spots you weren't even aware of. So I wasn't a big fan of Fenty's complexion product. I don't like the concealer or the foundation. I like the powder. I like the bronzer, the cream bronzer. I like the cream blush. Guys, you know, if you're on my second channel, I'm gonna say this now. Fenty, what it do? Refreshing spray. Get it? Thank me later. It's amazing. Like the sprayer on that is incredible. I literally just used it up and I'm like upset about it because no other setting spray compares. Like there is just not a single setting spray that I own that is filling that void in my heart. But because I bought so many setting sprays, I have to use them up before I repurchase the Fenty one. I'm kind of upset about it. Anyway, people thought this was shade. And I think it's shade. I think it is shade. I think they changed the caption or they took that picture down, something along those lines, but shade. So Patrick Starrr recently kind of messed up a little bit. So he posted the Rare Beauty, since we're on the topic, the Rare Beauty review, which I spoke about, I think in my last video, where he kind of started, you know, like every time he said something negative about the brand, he would then like link back to his brand, and it was kind of unprofessional. It had a really, really bad like to dislike ratio considering it was a makeup review. Like how controversial does that get? Apparently very. The comments weren't very good. I went over it and I did say that it just seemed kind of unprofessional and kind of like yeah, this wasn't his makeup style. And I think for that reason, if he knew he wasn't able to put his biases aside, he should have just not done the review, because I feel like if you know that glowy, natural isn't your style, then clearly that review isn't going to be of much use for people. Because clearly that's not the kind of makeup you wear, so you're not going to come at it from like an objective point of view. Anyway, that was my opinion on it. Do I think he needs to be cancelled for it? No. Do I think he needs to have like hate comments and people unsubscribing because they didn't like one review he did? No. But that is what's happening. People are having a go at him. And he has now disabled the like to dislike ratio. He hasn't like disabled the comments or anything, but it's just like to dislike ratio that is gone. He then actually posted an Instagram story, which I missed, but then I saw in a Nick Snyder video where he essentially just goes over like what his thought process was. I won't play the whole thing. I'll try to trim it down as much as possible just to save some time, but you get the context of it.
So I just wanted to come on here and address my recent video, the Rare Beauty review. A couple of things. There are so many negative comments. I understand it could be the fans. I understand it could be my way of reviewing it. First of all, it was a very new way of doing a review where I kind of gave my thoughts and inserted me using the Rare Beauty products in between. And I saw a couple of DMs saying like, I have lost so much respect for you, and you disappointed me. I'm unfollowing you because you didn't properly review it and you were comparing the whole time one size. Let me just clear something up. The only product that I compared in the video was the eyeliner. My eyeliner and the Rare Beauty eyeliner. I prefer my eyeliner. You guys can watch the video and check it out. And it was no way to me negative that I hate the brand. It was just in terms of preference. And so for me, I also disclaimed that it's a more natural face wearing glowy, dewy kind of brand, and I wasn't used to that in terms of the step-by-step routine, so I was a little bit thrown off when I was reviewing it, but I just wanted to give you my fully authentic review. Now, my question to you guys is, do I then give celebrities a pass because they're a celebrity, or do I give my authentic review because I wear makeup in a unique way that is more heavy, that is more drag, that is more staged, that is more cakey, whatever you want to call it? Here's the thing. I have been doing YouTube a long time. My question to you guys is, do you guys want an authentic review, or should I try it off camera a few times and then give my thoughts? I think that would kind of make a better situation. And I hope by me asking you here on my platform on Instagram, I can make my videos much better for a better review. I fucking love the blush. I just need to include it in my routine before I bake because I normally blush after I bake. I love the concealer. I love the foundation. There wasn't really a setting powder to set it with. So, you know, of course, my mind is, you know, wanting to use all Rare Beauty, but in my skin type, is very oily and very sweaty, so I need a powder. So there was just a bunch of things. I do apologize if it offended anybody, but that's just everything was my opinion and my opinion only, and I just wanted to share that with you. So hopefully I can better my channel and learn what the newness is in terms of how to go about making a video. But this is why I'm going on here publicly to ask you guys your thoughts, your opinions, and I hope to just better my content for all of you. And if you guys don't like my channel, don't like my content, thank you. And I hope you find happiness in your life and other YouTubers and other creators here on the platform, because there are so many people to celebrate.
And then he posted a story a little bit later on saying this.
Mentioned, to be fair, she has no eye shadows yet. So I just want to share what I was using on the eyes, and I also compared my eyeliners to hers. And for people saying that it was in every single of the video and you hate me and you were so, there are things to say things to people, and that's why I feel like people shut down online and just don't want to talk to people in person. because of the hate that we receive on the daily. And you have to understand me, growing up in this industry as a plus size Filipino man, getting called fat, stupid, fat, get ugly, go kill yourself. If you guys had a snapshot of what I had coming up in this industry, going viral once or twice, it sucks to hear the hate. So just know that I ignore it, desensitize some more things than others. So it's something that I want to address now before I start to ignore it, because I do want to continue a relationship with you guys. But thank you guys. I've received DMs thus far, and you guys know who you are. I thank you and I love you. Also add to, there's a lot of talking points that people wish what I had said in the video, like the brand is vegan, cruelty free, the thing was made for people with arthritis, she's donating a ton to health, and then on top of that I have to review the pigment, the packaging, the branding, Selena Gomez, the colors, I want to name the finish. Like, there's a lot that goes into a YouTube video. So for you guys that don't know, I'm reading a couple DMs, I do apologize. It's a lot of information to just digest in a short amount of time, raw, on camera. And now that you know that Rare Beauty is cruelty-free, vegan, ergonomically designed for people with arthritis and or lupus or disabilities ergonomically. And yeah, anything else that she also donates a lot of money to mental health.
But then he posted this tweet, which people thought was kind of backtracking from what he said in the Instagram story, so I guess people weren't too happy about that. The thing is, Patrick Starrr is never in any controversies. Like, I've never seen him be involved in Dramageddons. There's not really many like drama videos being made on him. He just posts like, oh, giving my friend a makeover, and just like filming actual like makeup videos. And for that reason, I'm not mad at this situation. Yeah, we can you know, call it out, criticize it, say like, hey, this isn't okay. And then once he says sorry, I guess that's it, because he didn't, like, you know, he didn't do anything horrible. He didn't kick a puppy. So I think we're in the clear with Patrick Starrr. Thank you, Patrick Starrr, for addressing the situation. And just hopefully next time, if he knows that he's not going to enjoy something, he just doesn't do it, really. I know that's kind of like, it's counterproductive, because you should be able to express a negative opinion. But the thing is, he went into the review knowing that those products weren't intended for him, because he's not the kind of person who wears natural glowy makeup. So if you kind of go into a review knowing that you're not going to like the product, you're more likely to nitpick bad things. Whereas if you go into a review in a very neutral way and then you get disappointed, that's very different. But this, I think he kind of knew that this wasn't makeup for him if he like watched anything else or read descriptions of the products, but he still kind of did the video, and then that's kind of where the issue came up. But I think, you know, because he's not problematic and doesn't have a problematic past, I'm just kind of like okay with this whole thing. You know, as long as everything's sorted out and clear, we're good. Next, there are some wildfires in California again. That's obviously tragic. There is like, I think it's like a huge bit of California that's currently going through that, and this is happening a lot lately. People are saying, you know, this happening so many times in a row now, year after year, should be a call for action for the government to figure out a way to make California less dry, because that's essentially what it is. California is just a very dry climate, so any little spark can cause a wildfire. And I think this was, I believe I watched a Philip DeFranco video where he said this was caused by a person's gender reveal, where they shot something and then there was a smoke, they tried to put it out, and then I think that was what sparked the wildfires. Which, if that's the case, I'm going to check back with Philip DeFranco and then check back when I'm editing, but I think that's what he said. I like to watch Philip DeFranco like in the background, but if that's the case, that's absolutely insane. But it just goes to show how dry California is for like one incident to cause this much chaos. But people, you know, are having to evacuate now. And of course, Jeffree Star posts this picture on Twitter of him flexing, because that's what it is. He's flexing that he's taking a private jet to Wyoming to get away from the wildfires, while people are losing their only possessions that they have. They have nowhere to go, like no other house. People don't have multiple houses. People don't have private jets to just fly out. All they have is whatever they pack into their car, if they have a car. And that's it. That's what they're left with. Just drive out in a car and evacuate and maybe go to some extended family or something. But there's only so much you can take, you know? People are losing a lot right now, and for him to go on twitter.com to be like, here's me in my private jet just flying out while you peasants are, you know, grasping for the last few possessions that you have and running away to nowhere, because, you know, some people's families are in different states or different countries, or some people are not, you know, in touch with their family. I don't know, I think this is in such poor taste, because it's like, who is he flexing on? Is it his haters? But like, that wouldn't make sense, because that just wouldn't make sense. Is he flexing on the people that don't have a private jet and can't escape from the wildfires? Is the people that are having to evacuate their houses from wildfires but they don't have a second house in a different state? Like, I'm not sure who was the intended audience of this flex, but I wish this didn't happen. Jeffree Star is known for flexing. Jeffree Star is known for showing off his wealth. in a very loud and obnoxious way. There is a way to show your wealth without being obnoxious with it. Simply just like, if you have designer things, you're allowed to wear them in pictures. If you have a designer car, you're allowed to design a car. If you have an expensive car, you're allowed to show it in pictures. But that's just Jeffree Star's whole personality. He doesn't have a personality other than being obnoxious about everything he does, including his wealth. So the fact that he decided to flex on people losing houses, possessions, some might be losing lives or loved ones, while he's just like, oh, let me just get on a private jet and fly away from this mess while you guys have to deal with it. It's just a little like, that one probably should have stayed in the drafts, you know, you should have never posted it. Like, why? There was also a tweet that he posted on the 7th. Good morning, everyone. Woke up to someone trying to extort me for money. How are ya? This pandemic already has people acting crazy. Wonder what that's about. Or wonder if that's yet another one of his lies. That would be unusual. And the last Jeffree Star story for today. So in America, small businesses are granted like loans with a very low interest rate. And they're supposed to help small businesses during the pandemic not go under and not have to fire any of their employees. So it's usually for people, you know, like small cafes or small restaurants or small shops, like that kind of a thing, where if they have a few employees and they're not really, you know, they lose a lot of their income because people are not going to cafes or restaurants or shops, they won't have to fire people and they won't have to file for bankruptcy because they'll have that loan coming in to help them out. When I was just talking about Jeffree Star flaunting his wealth, you know, after he got cancelled yet again and he filmed yet another apology, he came back throwing Birkin bags on the concrete. He took a Birkin bag, he took cash out of it and threw the Birkin, almost hitting his dog. Birkins, you know, range in the 10 plus grand to even 300 grand range. So, you know, if he's got money to throw Birkins around and to flex his wealth, buying new McLarens and flying private jets to Wyoming, then I'm sure he doesn't need a relief loan for a small business. But he sure does, because he got granted anywhere between $350,000 to $1 million. Blows my mind because, one, he isn't a small business, so it almost seems like Jeffree is a big business when it suits him and a small business when it suits him. So he's a big business when it comes to flaunting his wealth. And oh my God, my company pays hundreds of millions of dollars in tax every quarter. And then when it comes to getting a little bit of extra money, he's a small business and he's going bankrupt. It's like, maybe buy one less McLaren and then you won't need to take that loan away from small businesses that actually deserved that loan because they were actually going bankrupt. I wonder how many businesses actually went bankrupt because that loan went to Jeffree Star instead of them. You know, it's like, does he need $350,000 to $1 million? Because I'm pretty sure that's the cost of the collection of Birkins that he has in his wardrobe. Maybe just sell a few Birkins and then, you know, you can pay your employees some more money. But that he wasn't the only YouTuber that asked for this loan. So actually Mr. Beast asked for it, which is disappointing because I feel like YouTubers have been very privileged because of the work we do. It's inside as a whole, and also our income wasn't really affected that much. Like, yeah, advertisers kind of lowered their budgets, so our CPM, like how much we get paid per 1,000 views, kind of dropped a little bit, but we were still making a substantial income. And, you know, with Mr. Beast, with the kind of views that he gets, he makes a bunch of money. So even if his CPM was cut a little bit, he still has sponsorships, he still has, you know, AdSense and all of that stuff. And I just feel like, I think he got paid out between 1 and 2 million or 1 million, somewhere around that range, which is crazy because that's basically how much he spends on one video. Like, he just recently bought $1 million worth of lottery tickets and then spent 700k on an island. And I like Mr. Beast content, I really do. And I don't think he's problematic as a whole. I just feel like this is such a weird, I don't know, maybe he is suffering financially because of this. I don't know their financial situations, but it would just seem like with the kind of money that they're all spending, $1 million doesn't really make much of a difference to them, but it could make a huge difference to a small business. FaZe Clan also got a 1 to 2 million loan, but they're worth like 350 million. Why do they need that? And I'm sure that 1 to 2 million could have been given to a few small like businesses and it would really help them out a lot. Because there are some small businesses that don't even pull like 100k a year, so like 1 to 2 million could have been spread across many small businesses where, you know, there's people like Jeffree Star who are like, oh, look at my new McLaren, but also I have a loan from the government that could have went to a small business. Mashable, I think, wrote an article on this, and it was a pretty interesting read. My tripod keeps on coming loose and it's really annoying me because it keeps on like making my camera fall, and I need to get a new tripod. Ryland recently posted a video called Our Bedroom Makeover Reveal, and it's with Dawson, and actually that's filmed kind of like in the middle of the scandal, but right before it really kicked off. Like this was apparently filmed a few days before his apology video, and then obviously all of that came out, which he then didn't apologize for, because he posted an apology video hoping that like that's it, that's all that would come out, and then more things came out and he just kind of stayed silent. So this is weird to see them like pre-drama, like pre everything that happened, because it's just such a weird dynamic. It's so like strange to see it right before everything was set on fire, essentially. But also all the comments are positive, so I'm pretty sure Ryland is hiding a few of the like, well, all of the like comments about Shane Dawson. It's a mixed reaction on Twitter, so some people are excited to see Shane come back because he still does have some stans, you know, but then there are some people saying like, this is not how we want him to come back. I asked you guys, it was either in my last video or the video before that, kind of what he would have to do to come back, and some people said that there was nothing that he could do, and then some people said that you know, he's probably going to film like a documentary or something about himself and then just try and gain sympathy back that way. I'm not sure what I think, but seeing him in this kind of like a very normal format is very strange after everything that happened, you know, like it just feels very weird. The next thing is, recently the Dolan twins shaded Mr. Kate, who are people that kind of design your houses and like change things up. So a lot of YouTubers work with them to get their like interior design game on. So apparently when they had their house made over by Mr. Kate, they got them chairs and they said that they're from Italy. And then the Dolan twins in a video said, oh, these chairs are from Target or Walmart, one of those like big supermarkets in America, which then kind of insinuates that they're like lesser quality than the ones from Italy. And that was, I saw that in a Spill Search video. Spill Search actually looked up those chairs, and the ones that the Dolan twins found were on Target, but they were a bit different from the ones that they have. And then Spill Search actually found those chairs, those actual chairs, on Wayfair, and they are actually from Italy. So this was like a big mistake, but at that point, like all the damage is done, and all of the Dolan twins stands went to Mr. Kate videos and started like leaving a bunch of hate comments saying like, oh, you guys are liars, you lie about everything. And it's like, no, this was just like a big misunderstanding, and the Dolan twins should have probably put out a statement saying that they like messed up and that Mr. Kate isn't a liar. But also, Target and Walmart don't always create their own stuff. Like they do create their own furniture, but they also get furniture and products from other companies. So those chairs could have been from Walmart and from Italy at the same time, but they weren't, they were from Wayfair. So either way, this was a big miscommunication, and I just think that's kind of how people get cancelled nowadays. It's through miscommunication and through misunderstanding. I've seen this happen with a lot of YouTubers where one person says something in a tweet and other people don't double check it, and then they just run with it. And then the YouTuber's just left kind of dealing with misinformation being spread about them, and it's not fun, it's not nice, and it's just not great, you know, because it kind of delegitimizes the actual things that the YouTuber has potentially done if they're like problematic, you know, because then they can always hide behind the, well, people were spreading misinformation about me. So it's just kind of like, it's better to just stick to facts and what you do know, and also just always double check what you see on Twitter, because Twitter is a big lie. People on there just say just lies. Like that, like a lot of tweets I've liked and then I went to double check them and it's just completely false, and I had to take my like back. I was like, how dare you? And then Danny tweeted out saying, hey, if you see influencers that you watch collabing with famous, I'm not going to say that word, for views, just know they don't care about you, they just care about the sweet cash. And it is a screenshot of an Impulsive podcast, which is by Logan Paul, with Tekashi69. Yes, the felon. Yeah, we're talking about the same one. And it's a quote retweet to Curtis Connor's tweets. Yo, Taylor Holder, super cool to collab with a, I'm not going to say the word, when your audience is all young kids. And then recently the Hype House also invited him over for a collab. Did Tekashi69 sign some kind of a deal with YouTubers to film a bunch of collabs? Under all of these videos, people are either saying, oh my god, I have a new respect for Tekashi69, or they're like, oh, he's a snitch, he's a rat, as if being a snitch is the worst thing he's done. And it's not. Spoiler alert, that is not the worst thing he's done, nowhere near. So it's like, I think people's priorities are a little bit out of order, but also people are so easily swayed. Like the Impulsive podcast has a good like to dislike ratio, and all the top comments are like, oh my god, I have like a newfound respect for Tekashi69. He spits facts. He's so real and honest. I'm sick of these people's audiences. So tired. Like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean he's real and honest? He's a felon. And I'm not saying all felons are bad. I'm saying his type of felon is bad. That type. And then Logan Paul actually posted a vlog that is titled with Tekashi69, and it's like, I don't even want to watch that vlog, so I'm just like, do I want to give that more attention? No, absolutely not. And like, what's he going to tell me? Oh, he's a cool guy, love hanging out with him. And that's it for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below anything you want to comment down below, and subscribe because I post videos every time something happens, which isn't a lot lately, which is why I have the second channel, and it's making me very happy. So hit that bell on both. You'll be notified when all of that is happening. Social media links, second channel, affiliate links, any other links in description. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.